everyone, I'm Tim from Tim and Andrea Adventures, and this is
Andrea.
Now, process of elimination. So this video is a little different from the others that we've shown so far. We're especially if you watch our first video, we're moving from Pennsylvania to South Carolina, right?
Yes.
But we didn't take a direct route.
No, we went all over the place. Most of our other videos have been longer about a single campground.
Right.
However, as we drove, we did several overnights.
Correct. So we just wanted to talk about the campgrounds that we stopped at, and kind of give them a little mention, and some of the things we saw and experienced and liked and maybe didn't like so much. So our trip started in Pennsylvania. We went to Watkins Glen in the Finger Lakes area. Then we went to the Western New York in Buffalo. And then our first overnight was, as we were trying to get from Buffalo to Cincinnati, we stayed in
Statesboro, Ohio.
Statesboro, Ohio. So it's actually just south of Cleveland.
Yeah, it was officially a Statesboro KOA.
That's right.
It was called I believe it was called a Journey KOA.
Yeah.
And we weren't sure.
We don't know about the KOA branding, but it was a Journey. But it was a good kind of halfway point between Buffalo and Cincinnati. You're near Cleveland. Insert joke there if you want. I don't think Cleveland deserves it. What? Well, that's what I was going to say. I don't think Cleveland deserves to be made fun of. It's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yep.
The Browns. Baker Mayfield. Not anymore. I should pay more attention.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the KOA. Yes.
So the campground itself was very large. It was very spread out. There were a lot of pull-throughs in there. It was a little weird in my opinion, mostly because the one a lot of it seemed like permanent campers.
Right, that would be people that keep their camper there all the time.
All the time, yeah. And then it was almost like in the back was kind of where here's people who are just staying.
Short term, yeah.
Not very long. So, because we pulled in and there were 2 or 3 other people that pulled in not long after us, and you could tell they were not staying for a length of time.
Yeah. There's a security gate, which I always think that's a good thing. Keep the riffraff out, but it's not hard to get past the little arm that goes up and down. But it at least gives you that little measure of security.
Yeah. The sites themselves were very narrow.
Yes.
So they were kind of we were in the one section, and there, like I said, it was pull-throughs, and they were just very narrow and long. Also, just a side note here, there was dog poop on our site.
Yeah.
So I don't know if whoever, if obviously somebody didn't clean it up, but I don't know if the campground checks the sites before having somebody check in.
Hold that thought. We're going to do we're going to do the required campground etiquette. That's what we're gonna,
but we're not worried about that.
We're not worried about that now. Let's see. So from Statesboro, the Cleveland area, we spent time in Cincinnati. Watch that video. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not done.
We didn't finish Statesboro.
Let's finish Statesboro.
Statesboro also did have a really nice shop. So I actually didn't see a lot of camping stuff, but they had a lot of local goods. So I picked up some really good barbecue sauce. It was this apple barbecue sauce. It was really good. I wish I could remember the name. And I got some fudge too. So it had a really nice little shop.
Yeah.
So good enough for an overnight. I would give it probably 2.5 paws.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure what there is to do outside of going to Cleveland.
Okay, but we're not worried about that.
So 2.5 paws. I'll agree with you.
Okay.
On that one. No arguments there. 2.5.
Now, on our journey.
Okay, so to continue on, Statesboro to Cincinnati, watched that video, a lot of fun. And then from Cincinnati, we were heading due south to the Great Smoky Mountain area, Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, Sevierville, Dolly Parton, blah, 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 blah. But we stopped pretty much halfway in between Cincinnati and the Great Smoky Mountains is a campground we stayed at in the middle of Kentucky called OH exclamation point Kentucky.
Yes. It's actually in Berea, Kentucky.
Berea, yes.
My nephew went to college there.
Yeah, college town. And not a KOA, which seems unusual for us. Interesting campground. It was,
all the sites are pull through.
Every one's a pull through. It's not very big.
No.
You can walk around it in literally 10 minutes or so. And God bless the people of Kentucky at the time.
Oh,
they
it was
were,
raining.
you may recall all the rain that Kentucky was, and flooding they were having in 2022 in August. It rained a lot, driving as well as at the camper, and so it was very wet. It was certainly wet. You okay over there?
Bug.
Ah, the next bug, I guess. So the campground itself, you said it had interesting rules.
Yeah, the rules were just interesting. I had saved the paper and I can't find it, but like it was, kind of, they had kind of normal rules, like here's quiet time. During the week it was 10 o'clock, but on the weekends it was 11. But one said something about if you're found doing anything illegal there, that they'll call the cops on you. And drugs, it mentioned like drugs and stuff like that.
So it might just be the part of the world. The sites themselves were pretty level.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, not here. Yeah, not here. Never mind. I'm thinking about another place. So we had already developed our slide out issue, so we had to keep our slide out in while we were there. And unbeknownst to me, our house batteries were dead as well. So my leveling system was not working, and I had to kind of manually get it there. But
the sites were not level. They were, a lot of them were very narrow.
Very narrow sites. Yeah.
It was kind of a crapshoot on what you got.
Yeah, there was a guy who came in after us with a much bigger.
He
rig,
had a big 45-foot,
and he couldn't get it level at all.
Yeah, he was supposed to be 2 sites down from us, and you could hear him trying to level, and finally
he just pulled
out
and went to another site.
Yeah, so we're figuring they asked for another site.
Now, but he was the guy that was out there with a ruler, right?
So when they were at this other site, we actually, I saw him with a tape measure trying to
measure from the ground to the bottom of his rig.
Yeah,
cool. To each their own.
Yeah,
for sure.
So we weren't sure on like how bad that first site might have been for leveling, or if he was just extremely picky. But it was, in general, it was very uneven.
Yeah.
The campground itself was clean enough.
Yeah, it was nice. The people were super friendly.
So nice.
Yeah, the staff there are very friendly.
Yeah.
There's a nice Walmart there. I know I went to the Walmart.
Oh yeah.
Interestingly enough, so one of the things we have, and we'll probably talk about this in a future video, getting gas for this RV requires some thought. So this campground is right off the interstate. What is it? What's the one that goes right through? Whatever, I-71, something like that.
I think it's 71.
So it's literally like half a mile from the interstate, but there's not one, but 2 gas stations that our RV could have used for filling up. I obviously used one of them, but that was actually handy to have that gas station right there by the campground and literally off the interstate.
And it really was, just right off the highway. And again, interesting though, even though we were right off the highway, I didn't really hear highway noise.
That's true.
Anyway, so and then another interesting thing there too was this is just, if you're thinking size of your rig, when we were out walking, there was somebody that pulled in a 45-foot
giant
RV, right, and then was pulling a pontoon boat.
A big giant pontoon.
So, and then they also had a pickup truck as their chase vehicle.
Yeah.
So
he came in.
He came in, and they were able to accommodate him into a site. So he probably had to be, good 60, 80 feet. I
Yeah,
mean, he was huge,
goodness.
and he did use the entire. Because I saw him the next morning, I was like, yeah, he used up the entire length.
Yeah.
So
we good there?
Yeah.
So OH exclamation point Kentucky.
Kentucky. Right outside in Berea, Kentucky.
Berea.
So
How many paws?
I give it 2.5.
2.5. I'd give it 3.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 paws.
I'm good with 3.
3. So yeah, good place to stay.
Yep.
So from Kentucky to the Great Smoky Mountains, spent a few days there. Watch that video. It's already uploaded. And then we go from there to
we were finally working our way to South Carolina.
So we're going from there to our home here in Hilton Head, which, spoiler alert, that's where we're taking this from. And we stopped about halfway, another halfway point. Again, this would be south of Greenville, South Carolina, and north of the capital, Columbia.
I was just saying, don't look at me.
Columbia. Yeah, we need to learn some things about South Carolina. And so Newberry, it was the Newberry I-26 KOA. As KOAs go, this place was pretty top notch. Not large.
No, not very big at all.
Not a lot of sites. But I swear to God, I went in to check in, and the woman's name tag said Mamma Mia.
It was so
spelled
cute.
M-E-A.
Yeah.
And I chuckled. I said, "Is that really your name?" And she said, "Yep, everybody calls me Mamma Mia." And I'm like, "Fantastic, that's what we're calling it." So, and it was fun because she gets in the golf cart to kind of do the pace car thing to lead us into our site. And our site was literally like 30 feet from where the check-in was.
Oh, but tell him what she did too. Like asking them everybody's names.
Oh yeah, that's right. She asked everybody's name, which there's a welcome board. It said, welcome. There were 2 people coming in, and it said, welcome, Tim. And asked our names, and do you have any kids? Well, no, but do you have any dogs? Yeah. Well, what are the dogs' names? I'm like, you want to know the dogs' names? Okay, it's Goddard and Jerry. And so, she's writing them down, and she changed the board to say, welcome, Tim and Andrea and Goddard and Jerry.
It was so cute.
And she actually, all the campgrounds we've stayed at, this has never happened. She actually checked back on us a couple hours after we were already in and set up. She just drove her golf cart by and said, "Hey, is everything going all right? Is there anything you need? Anything I can get you?" kind of thing. And it was like, wow, that was super nice.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I appreciated that. Our site was, we stayed at a patio pull-through, one of the more deluxe sites.
That was a nice site.
It was very nice. It had a ton of room. It had a nice picnic table.
Yeah.
It had a glider,
It had
a 2-person glider chair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was
nice. Yeah. And I was talking to the guy across from us because he's been coming there for years because he was just from like Greenville or somewhere close by.
Yep.
Yeah. And he was saying that apparently it's been under new ownership for maybe a couple of years, maybe 3 years. And he said it's like it was either 2 or 3 couples that all bought it together and have been making a lot of upgrades. And the sites we were actually at, those patios, he said they actually finished them in the beginning of this summer.
Yeah.
So I think she even said we were the first ones to stay at our site.
So great site. It was they do the paint. She paints the rocks or whatever, hides the rocks around.
Yeah, there were painted rocks.
And the little gnomes.
There were gnomes
everywhere,
all over the place. And
like fake statues, not real gnomes.
The tables on the patio sites, I noticed, all had little, almost like fairy garden kind of things that somebody made. There were a lot of fairy lights all over the place. It looked really pretty at night.
Nice touches.
Yeah. Just a lot of nice little touches. In the laundry room, they actually had a couple racks of DVDs.
Yeah.
So we've been using our DVD player and brought a limited amount of DVDs with us, so it was kind of exciting to see that they had DVDs. So we pulled out a couple of theirs and
watched those. Yeah,
so that was nice.
Nice change up. I went. I'm guessing it's Newberry was the town I went to go. Was it grocery shopping? Groceries?
Yeah.
I got groceries there. nice little town, but there's literally nothing there.
It's almost, when you get off the highway, it's a little sketchy, because you get off the highway and there's this gas station and you're not really sure if it's open or not.
Yeah, you're just listening
open.
Yeah, you're listening for banjos.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of creepy. But when you get to this campground, it's like,
beautiful.
Wow, this is really nice.
And so if you're going there for a couple of days, I'm sure there's stuff to do. We didn't really investigate much.
You're not that far from Greenville, right?
Yeah, Greenville would be up the road. But I'm sure there's national or state parks, and there's stuff to do.
I'm sure there's got to be stuff.
But we didn't really see signs or much of that. But it's a good place to stay. It was a good place to overnight. Definitely would have stayed there longer. Just a great, relaxing, quiet. It was just nice campground.
It really was, yeah.
So
I would give it.
I'm giving this one at least 4.5. Since we're not doing a 5-pot scale.
I always thought it was. So 4.5.
So we'll give it 4.5. 4.5 pots. So those were our overnights, and we've made it to Hilton Head. You'll be seeing that video in the future about where we live now down here on Hilton Head Island.
Yep.
So that's up and coming. If you like what you see, please subscribe. I think it's down there.
And hit the bell.
Hit the bell to get notified. Please like the video.
And, all that stuff. All people say.
And if you don't like what you see, subscribe anyway.
Watch the train wreck as it happens.
So hope you appreciated our home movies so far.
Yep. And, especially our kids.
Yes, got to see the kids.
No, I meant our kids appreciate them.
Oh yeah, I guess it.
Our family and friends, whoever is watching.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
it's just family and friends. So
thanks
we'll
for your time.
Bye for now. Thanks for watching, and
bye.
Bye. We'll see you down the road. You're gonna start
just wrap it up already.
Tape's still rolling.
I know.
All right.
You put that in the.
Goodbye, everyone.